What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, and we have got an April Fool's Day special for you. We're not going to fool you like last year where we told you Erling Haaland has joined Tottenham or signed a deal with Tottenham, but we have got a top 10 list to bring to you today, and the top 10 list are the top 10 players that fooled us. So, you know, they either scored a brilliant goal on their debut or they started life to Tottenham really well, and it just ended up really, really poor.
There's a few of them.
Yeah, there's a few, and there's a lot more, I tell you, from this top 10 list. So we really had to narrow it down. But look, there are quite a few of these one-hit wonders at Spurs, aren't there?
Yeah, a lot. There's a lot of them. So we're easily fooled, I would say, as a fan base, maybe. But yeah, so these are just players that initially we thought were looking good, and then it didn't turn out that way at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into it.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoy this one. Let's get straight into it. And number 10, coming in at number 10, is Mabizela Mabizela, who, if you remember correctly, Spurs were on a pre-season tour of South Africa. We liked the look of some player for Orlando Pirates that was playing against us, so we decided to bring him home with us, like a going-home present. And he made his debut, I think, halfway through that season against Leicester away. I think he come on for the last 10, 15 minutes
he came
or so.
He came off the bench.
He came off the bench and scored an absolutely brilliant winner. I think it was 2-1. We ended up winning the game 2-1. What a winner. The ball comes out and he hits it first time and smashes it into the top corner roof of the net. And that's pretty much all we saw of him.
Yeah, literally. He made a couple of appearances after that, but really he was that goal fooled everyone into thinking we had something, a new star on the books here. And then after that goal, cracking strike, 25-yard pile driver right into the top corner. And then after that, we pretty much never really saw him again. I think he might have gone to prison.
Really?
Later in his life.
Is that right?
Or something. Something drug related. I think there was something. There was definitely something happened with him.
Here, it doesn't say anything about
something happened with him later in his life. I can't exactly remember what it was.
Here was it. He had a car accident and he was arrested for drink driving late in 2008.
I think even later. Okay, maybe it's that. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I remember something bad happened to him. And,
here we go. In December 2006, he received a 6-month ban from drug offences.
So he had a troubled career,
I mean,
later on. And
if I remember correctly, I'm sure he was South Africa captain at the time when we signed him.
That I don't know.
I've got a vivid memory of it. Anyway, let us know in the comment section below if any of you remember Mabizela. Let us know your memories of him. But he really was a journeyman throughout South Africa, never mind Europe.
Mm-hmm.
But after us, he went to join Valegra in Norway, and then he just made his way throughout the South African teams up until 2015, where he retired.
45 caps for South Africa, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was captain at the time.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
I don't remember that.
But anyway, let's move on to number 9. And number 9, we are going for Arsenal's very own Judas, Rohan Ricketts. We all thought we all got our own back on Arsenal after the whole Judas Sol Campbell debacle, as Rohan Ricketts joined us a year later after Sol joined Arsenal. He actually made 30 appearances for us, scoring only one goal. That one goal coming against Aston Villa in the league. He did score against Coventry as well in the League Cup. But I actually like the look of him early on, Rohan Ricketts, and I know Glenn Hoddle as well really liked the look of him. Glenn Hoddle later taking him to Wolves as well, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, he made a lot of appearances for Wolves. I remember he was all right in his first year at us. I remember that goal against Villa being a highlight, and the goal against Coventry, I believe, was one of his first starts for us, and it was a really nice goal as well. I remember, from outside the box, and we thought he was going to be something special, and we thought maybe we'd got something over on the Arsenal fans, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. It didn't really turn out to be that way. He kind of filtered away. Didn't turn out to be anything special. And now, if you think Mabizela was a journeyman, this guy was something else.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of football clubs this guy played for was absolutely insane. And it was actually the change of manager after Glenn Hoddle that really kind of put a stone in his grave kind of thing, because Glenn Hoddle really, really liked him, really liked the look of him, really liked him as a player. But it was the manager that came in after him which really sent him on his way. Then Glenn ended up taking him back on loan at Wolves and then signed him permanently.
And he played for Shamrock Rovers as well when we played against them.
Right,
he was part of the Shamrock Rovers team, so that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of countries he went to play football in as well was absolutely mad. But yeah, he comes in at number 9, Rohan Ricketts. Number 8, we are going to go to Timothy Atouba.
Oh, man.
I remember so clearly when we signed him, and I remember his first start. That goal against Newcastle was a special goal, wasn't it?
Really special goal. The winning 1-0. It was a winner as well at St James's Park, where Newcastle back then were actually quite a good team. They were finishing regularly in the top 4 in the European places.
If I remember correctly, we hadn't won at St James's in a long time at that point.
I think so, yeah. I think you might be right. I think we hadn't won there for a few years, but... I think also Stephen Carr, playing against us for the first time, but he was what a goal he scored, like running by 2 or 3 players on that left hand side, cutting inside on his right foot, curling it into the far corner, and we thought we had a special player on our hands. But unfortunately, I think he got more known for his foul throws than anything at Spurs. I remember he couldn't throw a ball for Toffee. He just couldn't throw. Every time he tried to throw the ball, he didn't know what to do.
I think he was more known for being a Bambi on ice. His footwork was absolutely mad. He used to do step overs and all these crazy things in our own box, and it was what are you doing, man? What are you doing, man?
Yeah, he used to I remember pirouettes and stuff in his final third and stuff like that.
In our final third.
Yeah, in our final third. I mean, in our defensive third. And he had quality, but he just wasn't. He was just a bit of a loose cannon, Atouba, and it didn't stay for long.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he stayed at us for 1 year only, wasn't it?
That was it, yeah.
1 year after signing him from Basel and then selling him to Hamburger. But did go on to make a few years at Ajax, but only playing 1 game.
Under Marney,
yeah,
probably.
So let's go on. So that is number 8, Timothy Atouba. Number 7, Dean Marney. On his first start against Everton, we all thought this guy is going to be a gem. Scoring 2 fantastic goals against Everton on his debut when we won 5-2. I think that was Robbie Keane's. Was that when Robbie Keane scored a hat-trick that day?
He scored 1 goal, I think.
He scored
Robbie
1 goal.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same game he scored a hat-trick. But was it 5-2?
It was 5-2, and he got 2 goals and an assist, Marney, as well.
That was it.
And he was unbelievable. And that second goal he scored was one of the great goals, 35 yards, just curling it into the top corner. He picked it up from the
halfway line around there, beat a man, and then just curled it into the top right-hand corner.
Yeah, it was incredible. And we absolutely battered Everton that day. And Everton, I think, that season finished top 4, so they were a good team then. And Dean Marney doing that on, I think it was New Year's Day back in 2005, was a real special game, but he never really made it at Spurs after. I think literally that was his only good game for us.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he obviously came through the Tottenham ranks, so that's why we were so excited. On top of those 2 goals, we were like, yeah, someone coming through the ranks that's looking amazing. But then after that goal, in his first game, he only ended up making 8 apperances for us. I
think one of them was that game at Old Trafford where Mendes.
Yes, it was. That was the game after, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. He played that game after. But apart from that, didn't really do much. And then went on to play for Burnley and other teams.
He made a good name for himself at Hull.
And Hull, Hull and Burnley, he was quite decent at. And what's his name, Vizier?
He loves
Burnley,
him for some
absolutely
reason.
loves Dean Marney, so he won't be happy with this list. But there you go, Dean Marney coming in next.
All right, Dean Marney coming in at number 7. Number 6, we are going to go to Sebastian Bassong. Scored on his debut on the first game of the season against Liverpool, and we all thought, all right, maybe we got a really good defender on our hands. We were looking for someone to kind of take the reins off one of Dawson or Ledley King or what have you. He came in, obviously scored in his debut, like I just mentioned, and I always actually thought he was a good defender, but he was just too inconsistent, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was decent. His first season when we got Champions League, he was pretty good, but after that, the cracks started to show, and he kind of faltered quite badly, and he fell away quite badly after that, and he went on to play, I think it was for Norwich, wasn't it, after Spurs?
Yeah.
And he said, one day Spurs will want me back, but it never happened.
That never happened.
It never happened.
He was a bit full of himself, Bassong, wasn't he? Because do you remember when we bumped into him, we interviewed him on the pitch at the Carnu thing, and you asked him, who do you think the best player you ever played with at Spurs was? And he just said, me, and ran off.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of... I liked Bassong as a player. I just thought he was a bit too inconsistent, to be honest. All right, so that's Sebastian Bassong at number 6. At number 5, we're going to look at Alan Hutton. We signed him for big money at the time from Rangers 2008, breaking our transfer record.
I don't know it was our transfer record. I think it was the transfer record for signing a Scottish player, I think.
I thought it wasn't, because we signed Rebrov for more than that, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't our transfer record.
So it was a right back.
Or maybe a Scottish defender or something like that, or a British transfer record for a signing from Scotland, something along those lines.
It's not really a record, is it?
Something, a Scottish record or something like that along those lines.
All right, well, I thought he had a good few opening games, good opening season, but then he just went downhill from there, didn't he?
He got man of the match on his debut against Man United. I remember he was absolutely amazing, and we thought like this guy's going to be our right back for years to come. He looked like he had pace, he had a bit of quality going forward as well. He was known as a real attacking right back, and I remember being very, very excited. He played in the League Cup final as well when we beat Chelsea, and he played well. But then he got a big injury. And ever since that injury, he was just awful. He was just terrible. I remember he came back. He was just. I remember that game against Arsenal. We drew 4-4. He passed it to one of the Arsenal players to go through on goal. He was just really, really bad. And he ended his career much maligned, I would say, at Spurs. I think people wanted him out.
And Kyle Walker was the one that displaced him from the team.
It was.
And even at that time,
Chorluka, I would say, wasn't it?
Was it Chorluka? At that time, we weren't really even thought Kyle Walker was even going to be that good. He was making hosts of mistakes after mistake, defensive errors. But in terms of Alan Hutton, I thought he showed so much promise when he first joined. And we thought, all right, we got a proper right back here. We spent some proper money on a right back. But it just didn't turn out that way.
He was rubbish in the end. Made loads of mistakes in the end.
Yeah, he did. All right, that's number 5, Alan Hutton. Let's move over to number 4. Andy Reid. We signed him in 2005 alongside Michael Dawson, a double signing from Nottingham Forest. It was widely reported as he was supposed to be the good one. Michael Dawson was supposed to be the one that, could make some work. But, man, I don't understand how this guy made it as a professional footballer.
With his physique, I've never seen a guy try to be a professional footballer who's so big. He wants to be a winger as well. And, I couldn't believe it. He was trying to beat a fullback with his kind of body. I didn't understand. When he turned up, obviously he had a pretty good left foot. We all saw that. He scored that one goal against Villa.
Yeah.
It was a great goal.
Was that last game of the season?
One of the last years.
Yeah.
It was late on in the season. We beat them 5-1, I remember, and he scored a great goal that day. And we thought maybe this could be the start of something, but he couldn't acclimatise to the Premier League. He did all right at Sunderland. I think he lost some weight and he did all right there.
The thing is, I think at Spurs, he started off with quite a bit of promise. I thought you could see that technique. He had brilliant technique. He had a wonder of a left foot. It was just his fitness, which was kind of letting him down kind of
to
thing.
be a left winger in the Premier League, you need to have your fitness
I thought maybe
on
he
point.
should have been more of a number 10, maybe.
Probably.
Than a left winger. But I thought that his first few games at Spurs were actually quite good. But then what happened, you know what I mean? So, he never lived up to anywhere near his reputation. Ended up making 29 appearances for Ireland, his country, and only made up 26 appearances for Spurs, and that was his only goal.
He was always good on the volley, but that's because probably he could stand still for that one.
Yeah. But he never really lived up to his form that he showed at Nottingham Forest ever in his career, really.
No.
All right, so that is number 4, Andy Reid. Now we're getting to the nitty-gritty, the top 3 now. At number 3, we are going to go for Lewis Holtby. Lewis Holtby, he joined us in 2013. And I remember when he joined us, he came with so much hype around him, being one of the great young players from around Europe. And I remember that he showed a lot of great attitude on the pitch. His application on the pitch wasn't always matching his attitude, though, was it?
Yeah, I think we signed him early, if I remember rightly. I think he had 6 months left on his contract, and we decided to pay a couple of million and sign him early.
$1.5 million, that was it.
Something like that. And was just to get him before in the January.
Remember all the Spurs fans, just pay the money,
get
him in, he's top call.
So
we don't want to risk losing him.
I remember. Oh, he's too good. We can't let him go. He made his debut. I remember he came on in one game. I can't remember what game it was, but he had a few one-touch passes. Oh, he's going to be amazing, Lewis Holtby. And then as every game passed, it was like we kind of sing what you want to see. Every pass to that got to a Tottenham feet. We're like, oh, look how good this passing is. I remember he got an assist against Man City. I remember he came on against City and he got an assist in that game for Jermaine Defoe, but Jermaine Defoe did all the hard work. Holtby just played it to him. And then he never really showed anything in terms of real quality to be a starter for us.
Yeah.
And we ended up moving him on about a year later, I think.
Yeah, he ended up going to Hamburger, who were the second division in the German.
After getting relegated with Fulham.
Well, Fulham he was only on loan at.
Yeah.
And then he went on loan on Hamburger, and I think he got relegated with them, and then joined them full-time the season after. And then he went to Blackburn, who were in League One at the time as well. So, after Tottenham, his career just went literally down the pan. And he even got a few German call-ups when he was with us as well. I think he played 3 times for the German full side. That's quite an achievement.
I think he might have been before us.
Might
have been before us when he was at Schalke. He was quite good for Schalke, but yeah, never really. I remember we were all very excited about him signing for us, but again, another one just didn't have that quality that we thought he did. But he always had that energy. Everyone loved him. We still loved him, but he just wasn't good enough.
I remember that goal he scored against Fulham. What a goal that was! First of all, do you remember the atmosphere that day at Fulham, singing that Lewis Holtby song over and over again? That was class. But yeah, he just never lived up to kind of the reputation, first of all, and the kind of like his ethic on the pitch was absolutely second to none. And Poch, I think, loved him for that ethic, but he just couldn't get past the quality.
I don't think Poch. I think Poch sold him. No,
Poch sold him.
His first summer.
Yeah. Let's move on to number 2, and this is going to be an interesting one. Gilberto, the first Brazilian to ever play for Tottenham. The Spurs fans were so excited. Oh, we got a Brazilian. But it was a Brazilian left back, and it was Gilberto. I mean, I don't understand how this guy went on to play 36 games for Brazil. 36 games for Brazil. I
couldn't believe it when seeing him play for Spurs.
He was shocking. He was absolutely shocking. He scored a goal on his debut
against West Ham,
and he did nothing else in a Spurs shirt.
I remember as well. He's another one we signed early. Because he was he's another one who had 6 months left on his contract, and we paid an extra $2 million to get him in early.
We signed him on the last day of the January transfer window.
We signed him early. From Berlin, was it?
From Hertha Berlin.
Yeah, from Berlin. And he was supposed to be a very good international Brazilian left back.
He came injured.
Attacking left back. I remember, I'm not sure if it was his full debut or not, but one of his early games was against PSV.
That was his debut.
Against PSV. He made a horrific mistake to allow Jefferson Farfan to score.
And he was taken off at half-time for Jamie O'Hara.
That was it so he was that bad on his debut. He obviously got another chance against West Ham in his full Premier League match. He scored, and we thought, okay, maybe he's getting back to he just needs a bit of time to settle in. But he was horrific whenever he played. He couldn't cross a ball for anything, and I couldn't believe this guy was getting ready. He scored at a World Cup, this guy, for Brazil, and he was just awful for us. He was so bad. And I think one of his last games was, I remember away at Portsmouth, we lost 2-0, and he was just shocking that day. Absolutely shocking.
All right. But he wasn't the first Brazilian we actually signed. Do you remember the first Brazilian? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Never forget Rodrigo defending. We thought he was a Brazilian under-21 captain. Oh, what a player. He's going to be the future of us. He's going to be the next Lucio.
Oh, the false dawns at Tottenham Hotspur, man.
Never ends.
Let's go on to number 1, and you could probably guess it. Number 1 is the great Roberto Soldado. When he came to Spurs, I think he'd had like 3 seasons in Spain where the only 2 players that had scored more than him were Ronaldo and Messi. And
he had 25 goal plus seasons in a row.
Every single.
I thought this guy's guaranteed.
Yeah, but I remember saying to you at the time, this guy is not going to do well at Spurs. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember.
And you were like, wow, what are you talking about? 25 goals a year in Spain. And I was like, look, these things, I never thought he was cut out for the Premier League. And like, he came with this reputation of being an absolute fox in the box, finishing everything. But when he came to us, I thought everything outside the 6-yard box, his link-up play was actually really good. But when he got inside the box, he just couldn't hit a barn door. I mean, his opening day of the season was away at Palace, wasn't it? And he scored a penalty.
He scored in his first 3 games, I believe.
All penalties, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he could only score a penalty for us,
I think we had a Europa League qualifier. He scored like a couple in that one as well, which weren't penalties. But then we thought, look, this guy's hit the ground running. He's got confidence. This guy is going to be a striker we've looked for years and years. And he had that start where he scored a few goals and papered over the cracks that he wasn't actually doing much well other than that. And then as the season went on, it was kind of got more awkward kind of thing. It kind of got more and more awkward as the season went on.
I can't remember who it was against, but he finally scored in the Premier League for so long.
Cardiff, I think.
From open play. I don't know if you were there that day at that
I was
lane,
there.
and I just remember the lane absolutely erupted.
He was nearly in tears,
when
remember.
He scored, he ran over to the fans in tears, and you could just see that the fans around the stadium were just so happy for him. It's not like at Arsenal when you got players that are not doing well, they boo them off the pitch and what have you. Like the Spurs fans were all in one unison. Like they just wanted him to do well so much. It's not like we were berating him. We were all just like geeing him on, supporting him. And I remember he appreciated it so much with his tweets and Twitter posts and stuff like that. So Soldado, I've always loved him because I thought that he always gave 100% on that pitch. I just thought that his quality in front of goal just let him down.
Big time. I mean, this guy was supposed to be one of the best, deadliest strikers in Europe at the time. and obviously the curse of coming to Spurs fell upon him, and it was one of the worst transfers of all time. You have to say that from our point of view, especially as all the expectation was. And I think even he started his second season under Pochettino, and he scored 1 goal. I think he scored 1 goal against Everton, and I remember the moment I definitely knew his career was done at Tottenham was that moment against Fiorentina. Do you remember it in the away leg?
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. So he goes through one-on-one.
Oh, yeah.
He goes through one-on-one, and he's got Chadley to his left, I think it is, and he's got 2-on-1 with the keeper, and he decides, because he's so low on confidence, he had to square it to Chadley, and he couldn't even do that, and then the keeper intercepted it, and then I knew
so
it, and we went on to go out, and I knew at that moment he's done here now. He is done.
But he scored 59 goals in 100 appearances for Valencia. Then comes to us and scores 7 in 52.
He blames it.
6 of them were like penalties.
Yeah, he blames it as a confidence thing. He said the confidence under the AVB team was completely sapped out of him, and he never regained it. Shame.
He's still doing it now in the Europa League. He's still in the Europa League, and we're out.
We're out. He's gone further than us. He scored, didn't he, in the last round?
In the last couple of rounds.
There you go, Roberto Soldado.
He's still doing the business, Bobby Soldado.
Sign him back.
To be honest, I always loved him as like a character, but obviously when we sold him, I was happy he had gone. But I actually, as a player and as a person, I always kind of loved him because of the kind of way the Spurs fans took to him, didn't we? Because we did take to him, didn't we?
Yes, because we were so desperate for him to do well, wasn't it?
But anyway, look, that is our top 10 players that have fooled us for your April Fool's Day special today. Let me just run through the order for you one more time. So at number 10, we went for Mabizela. Number 9, we went for Rohan Ricketts. Number 8, we went for Timothy Atouba. Number 7, Dean Marney. Number 6, Sebastian Bassong. Number 5, Alan Hutton. Number 4, Andy Reid. Number 3, Lewis Holtby. Number 2, Gilberto. And number 1, Roberto Soldado. If we've missed anyone out, and we sure have, because there have been
I know exactly what everyone's thinking right now.
Many players that are on that list. Let us know in the comment section below. What's everyone thinking? Bale.
Definitely. Everyone's going to be
the second coming
him,
of Bale.
Definitely, yeah.
What about the second coming of Robbie Keane?
That's also probably one as well. Definitely let down by that one.
All right, well, that is your April Fool's Day special. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.